Hi, I'm Brooke Wallace, filling in for Max Brantley with your Arkansas Times news headline updates for Wednesday, August the 7th. U.S. District Judge Kristine Baker ruled Tuesday that 3 Arkansas abortion laws temporarily blocked from taking effect will remain blocked indefinitely by a preliminary injunction as she considers a lawsuit challenging them. Baker granted a temporary restraining order against the restrictions minutes before midnight on July the 22nd, a ruling that was set to expire late Tuesday night. The preliminary injunction replaces the temporary restraining order from July. Little Rock Family Planning Services, the state's only surgical abortion provider, said one of the restrictions, which would require doctors performing abortions in the state to be board certified in obstetrics or gynecology, would likely force the clinic to close if enacted. Lori Williams, director of Little Rock Family Planning, said this is because the clinic only has one physician who meets the requirement, and he lives in California and works in Little Rock for a few days every other month. One of the abortion restrictions would ban abortion after 18 weeks into pregnancy, and the other restriction would prohibit doctors from performing an abortion if it's being sought because the fetus received a Down syndrome diagnosis. Little Rock Family Planning and Planned Parenthood are challenging the restrictions. The preliminary injunction will remain in effect until the constitutionality of the law is decided. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge immediately filed an appeal of Baker's ruling to the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Well, activist Denise Ennett and businessman Darrell Stevens will face off in a September 3rd Democratic primary runoff election to represent Little Rock's House District 36. Governor Hutchinson called the special election after Charles Blake resigned from the House to become the Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr.'s chief of staff. No Republicans filed to fill the position. With all precincts counted, Ennett had 33% of the votes, 446, and Stevens had 31% with 418. Ennett got the most votes on Election Day and in the early vote. Philip Hood got 20%, Roderick Talley got 11%, and Russell Williams received 5%. Turnout was very low. 1,359 voted among 15,908 registered voters. In a meeting Tuesday evening, the Little Rock Board of Directors approved a resolution introduced last week by at-large Director Dean Compuris to set aside an hour of time after the conclusion of its Tuesday afternoon agenda meetings to discuss, quote, policy issues for the city. It also approved a resolution to contribute $4.6 million from the city's street fund to the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences for a construction project to turn Pine and Cedar Streets into one boulevard. The board also approved a resolution that allows the city to contract with McClellan Consulting Engineers to study and provide a design to reduce a section of Markham Street to 3 lanes. With the $112,500 contract, McClellan's will also design a plan to expand sidewalks on Markham from Kavanaugh to Pine Street. Well, that's all the news I have for you today. As always, read more on the Arkansas blog. Thanks and see you tomorrow.